It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so it's been a long time since we spoke about, cool boy Stephen Fulton. It seemed like all of 2023, at least from January to July, Stephen Fulton was probably one of the most talked about fighters on this channel just because of the whole Inoue fight and then me going to Japan. So it's kind of weird going all this time without shooting a Stephen Fulton video. But let's talk about Cool Boy because he is one of my favorite fighters in the sport. He's a guy that's earned a tremendous amount of respect with me over the years. And listen, there's a lot of speculation about what he's gonna do in boxing in 2024. I think it's a big year for him because he's got a lot to prove. He fought the monster Naoya Inoue and he got beat up, got outclassed in the fight. But he's still a great fighter. He's still an amazing fighter. He's still, to me, a pound-for-pound caliber fighter. And his resume proves that, right? So that being said, it's fully expected that he's going to be a featherweight this year. But I don't know if y'all can see that tweet, but that's a tweet from December 27th, all right? So not so long ago. And the tweet is very simple and very direct. It says 126 to 130. So he's already hinting that maybe he might not even be a featherweight. He might actually be fighting at 130, which is a bit shocking to me because, he hasn't even fought at 26, right? So why is he going to fight at 30? What's with this trend in boxing? I don't understand this trend in boxing because I've seen it too many times now. Like a good example of this is like Louis Neri. Like he fought once he moved up from, what was it, 118? I think it was 118. Like he's had a hard time making weight, like even when he just moves up to a weight class. And then now it's kind of like the same thing with Stephen Fulton, right? So I'm not sure what his future could be at 30. But look, one thing I do know about Cool Boy, because I do follow him on Twitter, and I actually do pay attention to what he tweets and what he does, only because I'm interested to see how his career develops. I'm a Stephen Fulton fan. All right. I know he was just down here in Miami on a boat having a great time, living life, dancing and whatnot, as you should be doing when you're on vacation in Miami. That's what you should be doing if you're in Miami on vacation. I live here, so it's everyday life for me. But maybe I don't know what he ballooned up to after the Inoue fight. I'm not sure how much life he was living after the fight, because that happens with fighters sometimes. They lose a fight in tough fashion, and then they get paid well and they enjoy the fruits of their hard labor, because it's a tough, arduous journey in business being a fighter at that level. So when you do lose and you do come up short, sometimes you don't even want to be around this, because a lot of times the boxing fans can be very toxic. I know just from being here on YouTube, just in the comment section, sometimes I don't even want to be around boxing. I don't even want to check the comments because it's just like it could be very irritating at times, right? So I could fully understand why he got away from the sport, because he said now he also tweeted earlier too that he's had enough time to rest. Now he wants to get back to work. So what he fought in July, so he had August, September, October, November, December. So he's basically half a year off. He didn't really do, according to his own tweets and whatnot. So look, I think Stephen Fulton got to focus on getting down to featherweight, because I don't think it's healthy to just jump up 2 weight classes and fight. And the thing is too, he already has an extremely high ranking position with certain sanctioning bodies. Like if you just look at the rankings, he's number 3 in the WBA, and really in the de facto sense, he's actually really the number 1 contender, because the number 1 and number 2 contenders in the weight class are already fighting for a world title, and that's going to be decided between Kholmatov and Raymond Ford. So he could ideally fight the winner of that fight. Now I know Raymond Ford is from Camden, New Jersey. That's not too far from Philly. I know Raymond Ford has sparred in Philly before. He trains in Cherry Hill, which ain't too far from Philly. So I think I don't know, if Ford winds up winning that fight, I'm not so sure if Raymond Ford's gonna want to go over there and fight Steve Ford. I'm not sure. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if Kholmatov wins, then that could be a fight that Steve Ford maybe explores for the vacant world title. So if I were a Cool Boy, I definitely be focused in on getting situated at featherweight. And then if you look at him in the WBO, he's number 3 in the WBO. And his old opponent, Arnold Kagai, is ranked number 1. So maybe if you want to give Kagai a rematch for the number 1 contender spot, You know, Rafael Espinoza is the champion. I know that's the whole top rank thing, so maybe I don't know if that's going to be realistic, but you know, that's where he's at there. And then in the WBC, let's see, he's not ranked in WBC, and then he's not ranked at all in the IBF. So the way I see it, Fulton either winds up fighting, you know, like the winner of Kholmatov 4 for the title, or if you just look down, at the rankings, I mean, I know Angelo Leo is ranked number 9, okay? Angelo's supposed to fight Mike Plania on January 31st. If Angelo beats Mike Plania on January 31st, I could see the WBA bumping him up maybe and potentially maybe up into the top 5, because he has a WBA international title. Normally, if you win that belt and you defend that belt, that actually gives you better standing in the rankings, right? Just to put you guys on game, right? Because some of you guys don't understand how boxing and the politics actually work. Angelo won the WBA international title, a regional title with the WBA on November 1st when he beat Nicholas Polanco and beat his arm out of his socket, right? That was November 1st. He's defending it January 31st. If he wins it, I could see a scenario where the WBA winds up ranking him somewhere in the top 5. If you rank him in the top 5, then you have a very attractive rematch between potentially Stephen Fulton and Angelo Leo, which I know from talking to Angelo, he would love that rematch. I'm sure if that's the kind of fight that Cool Boy would need to take in order to get a title shot or increase his ranking, then I don't see why he wouldn't do it. He beat him the first time, right? So I'm sure he's going to be confident. I'm sure both of them will be confident. Angelo will be confident that he's matured since that first loss to Fulton. Cool Boy will be confident the fact that he beat Angelo in the first fight. So could be a very interesting rematch. Might want to keep your eye on that one, but my whole point in the greater scheme of things is that if I'm Cool Boy, I think his best bet is to go to 30 because I'll go to 26 because if you go to 30, I mean, if you just look at the top of the rankings, I mean, what route is he going to go? Would he go the WBC route? Because look, he was WBC champion, right? So if he goes the WBC route, you got Oshaki Foster, who's a top ranked fighter, and so if you go in that direction, it might be harder to get a fight at 30 against a top-ranked guy. Top Rank may not want to do that fight right now because they may have other plans for Oshaki because they have Ricardo Navarrete and they have other options for him out there, right? So maybe that becomes a bit difficult. And then the same thing goes for the WBO. He had the WBO title. I'm sure he could get good ranking position with them. But again, the champion is a top-ranked fighter, so that may cause more politics and more friction and maybe just too many hoops to jump through for Cool Boy, right? So with that being said, and with that being firmly established on True School Sports, that's kind of how I see things. That when I read that tweet from Stephen Fulton and I look at the landscape, that's kind of like how I see right now at this moment in time where his standing is. I think if his best bet, honestly, he may want a tune-up fight. So maybe if he gets a tune-up fight, he can fight someone in the top 15, maybe like a guy like, I don't know. I mean, could be someone in the top 15. Arnold Kagai might make a lot of sense, but that's a rematch. He already beat him, right? So he may gets wait. He may gets wait to see how things go with Ford and Kholmatov. And if Kholmatov wins the world title, then all of a sudden you have a very attractive title fight with Kholmatov, and that would put him right back into potentially being a world champion right off rip, right? So I think for me personally, that's the best scenario for him is for Kholmatov to beat Ford, become champion, and maybe he could fight for the title straight away. No waiting, no tune-ups, and I'm sure he'll be very up for that fight, and it'll be a chance to prove himself against a guy that's starting to garner a lot of hype in the boxing community. And he'll gain a lot more hype if he actually winds up beating Raymond Ford, which won't be easy for him. So make of that what you will, but Stephen Fulton is saying that he could be moving to 130. He also said he will be campaigning at 126, so make of that what you will. Make sure, I'll obviously, look, last thing, he also could be the ultimate goal out of all this for Cool Boy. I know is going to be to eventually wind up being champion for when the monster Inoue moves up, because he wants that get back, and he feels that he could obviously do better than he showed last July. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all develops. You know, because in my opinion, if you don't like Stephen Fulton, you just don't like boxing. That's just me. He's a true fighter. There's a lot of guys in PBC you could criticize. I wouldn't really do too much criticizing for Stephen Fulton because he came out the proper way, the hard way, and I got nothing but good things to say about the guy. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.